Drawing perspective is hard, and much harder when you try to draw crazy stuff like this. This was an anime-style art piece of the Raiden Shogun from Genshin Impact I did for an art contest. And this is the original sketch. It isn't easy for the average artist with their monkey brains to calculate and draw accurate perspective from the mind alone, especially with detailed buildings and organically shaped characters. So that's why you use 3D tools. It can really make you less afraid of perspective and help you speed up the art making process, especially if you get good at it. And while it may look complicated and unnecessary, I will teach you how to start very simple and easy with just some squares to more complex scenes like the one in the thumbnail. And trust me, it's much easier than fooling around with some perspective lines that you learned in high school. This will be an ongoing series of tutorials on my channel since I feel like 3D is underused by 2D artists, and it's probably just because they don't know how. So if you're ready, let's get started. But first, this video is sponsored by JPfans. Education is never free, sorry, but if you like art, anime, and anything degenerate, JPfans might actually be of use to you. JPfans is your #1 shopping platform for Japanese-based needs. Unlike traditional shopping sites, JPfans is a proxy buying service. Basically, they buy from sellers locally in Japan and ship it to you in one package, making shopping abroad more convenient and simple. They connect you to all these authentic Japanese shopping sites that you simply won't have access to in the US, like Japanese eBay. So you can get some really niche items, even cheaper than brand new. For my case, I really wanted some Japanese city pop CDs and quality cosplays that I couldn't find on a traditional Google search. The CDs were all at least $10 less than from US websites, and JPfans offered tons of customer support to help me get the cosplays I wanted. And because they ship everything to you together, the shipping cost is much less than having all these small sellers ship to you individually. Tons of small Japanese sellers are putting treasures out there, so why not just take a look? Links to JPfans are in the description below. The basic idea of using 3D modeling for your 2D artworks is for reference. While most videos online focus on actually making the 3D background in 3D with colors and rendering and textures, that method is incredibly complicated and unnecessary for most 2D artists because we're the ones that are going to render everything. So today we'll be simply making a black and white background reference that you can use to draw, color, and shade. The first step to all of this is having an idea, which sounds corny, but ultimately you don't want a reference to define your idea. You want your idea to define your reference. So for this example, I made this sketch. It was an art piece done for an anime fashion art contest where you draw the characters with clothes with a chance to actually win that clothes. I wanted that pants real bad, like goddamn purple pants. So to win, I wanted to make an art piece that really exaggerated a low angle perspective to showcase the pants while keeping the face of the character and body still in view. And 3D references are best used for artworks like this, which have very difficult to draw angles that our eyes usually don't get to experience and rarely study. Hopefully. Now, you may be wondering, why do this when you can just use a real-life reference? Real life is kinda like a 3D modeling program, right? You can move the person and the camera around and you don't have to learn. Well, have you tried that? Real life is always lonely, And finding someone or a way to prop up your camera, especially when you're just casually drawing, is not easy. 3D is much more advantageous to this because you can adjust the lens angle, position of objects, lighting, and camera to the dot, which is pretty much impossible in real life. For example, even if I took a low-angle image of myself for reference, it just doesn't look good, and I can't get the camera angle right by myself. Unfortunately, no one's gonna want to upskirt me. Additionally, a phone camera just doesn't have a wide enough lens to take a photo reference similar to this idea that I had in mind. We'll be using Blender for the 3D work, which is free and a pretty popular program. And it's really simple to get started. Once you open the program, you only need to worry about 3 things: your objects, your camera, and your lights, which is just like real life. Your objects, like this square, are basically your reference items, and you can scale them by pressing S. If you press S and X, Y, or Z, you can direct your scaling to a certain direction. Pressing G will let you move that object around with your mouse cursor, and pressing X, Y, Z again directs that movement along one axis. To add new objects, go up to Add and choose a preset shape. You can also move your camera in the same way as the objects if you just select it. If you press R, you can rotate the camera and everything else similarly to how you can move them. And to preview the camera's view, you can click the camera button on the right here. But moving the camera like this is pretty troublesome. So if you open this window and go to View, you can click View to Camera, which will allow you to move the camera with your mouse cursor, and then you can leave that anytime. Now that you know how to use the camera, you can go into Camera Settings and open a sketch file. It's shaped weirdly, but just go into Output Settings and change the resolution of your camera to match your artwork. With this knowledge, you can move your objects and camera around to align with your sketch to create a simple image reference that has perfect perspective. If you notice objects are disappearing in your camera view, it's probably because the camera is clipping it, so you can change that in Camera Settings. You can also change the camera lens angle here. This is pretty vital in matching and understanding your perspective. A wider or smaller lens angle will make perspective much more exaggerated, which means objects farther from the camera shrink more quickly. A longer lens will make the objects get smaller much slower. This can drastically change how your scene looks, so just play around with the setting to get the angle you desire. The bonus step is that by using 3D, you can also get the lighting reference pretty easily by just adjusting the light. To actually see the light, however, you need to go into Rendered View. Now you can adjust the light strength, position, rotation, and even the type of light too. Now when you look through the camera, you have a whole reference that might save you hours of trouble. To export or render the scene, go up here and click Render Image. Now you can go into your drawing program of your desire and draw away. This is your most basic and beginner method into using 3D for references. And once you get used to it, it probably takes less than 10 minutes to create a scene for any artwork you can imagine. But can we really go from this to this? Well, it's really not that different because instead of moving around some squares, we'll be moving around some assets. Obviously, I didn't model this town. I got it online on Sketchfab, and the Raiden Shogun model was taken off Genshin's official website. I downloaded these assets and imported them into Blender, simply moving them around like I did with the cubes to create a reference. And you can do this with any 3D model, many of which are free. Sketchfab is a good website for this because it allows you to even preview your models, which is wonderful. I found this Japanese village scene to be perfect, with stairs allowing a lower camera angle and nice festive decor, matching Inazuma, where the character is from. The only real difference between this and cubes is that you have to import assets, which can be difficult. This Japanese scene is an FBX file, and it is supported by Blender, so that's great. But some models, like the Raiden Shogun, need add-ons to import them and use them. Just be aware of file types when using assets. Now it's just like the example before. I move the cameras, objects, and lights around with a sketch overlaid on my camera to create my reference. And this time it's a little easier because I don't have to recreate any scene or build anything with blocks. It's just two objects. Instead, I can spend more time detailing the reference by posing the character, adding hats and drinks, and adding whatever I think will make the reference more useful to me in the future. Since I was going for a very exaggerated and low angle view, I made the angle much wider and positioned the camera close to the leg, just like how I was doing in real life. I also try to align the background and character to make the composition look good. You can't do that in real life. When going into rendered view, you can see that the textures have carried over and are present in the final render, which is totally common for assets. We don't need them though, so you can just go to the material settings and subtract it to keep it black and white. With a more detailed reference, lighting becomes much more valuable, and you can see all the detail that comes out of the buildings and character that would have taken forever to figure out and draw traditionally. Having perfect control over the lighting really helps with composition, and I wanted to make sure the light would hit the face while keeping the hat in shadow so it would create some good contrast. Once I exported the scene, this is what I got. With this reference, I can start to sketch over it, add details, and here's the secret. You can completely disregard your entire reference because guess what? It's a guide, and you can always do whatever you want. The clothes, for example, weren't accurate to my original idea, so I just drew it on. But you can really see how it helps with perspective because now you know how each part of the body scales with the camera angle. And since the geometry is very visible, you can easily see the values and form if you want to shade it when you render it. I colored it with the previous sketch and added tons of details. One benefit from using a detailed reference is that you can actually just use it for the background. Since my art style doesn't have line art, I can just paint bucket certain shades in the reference to color and turn it into a really rudimentary background without having to draw and design all this complex stuff. And of course, I also added details to the scene like the clouds, lanterns, and of course the pants. After a bunch of rendering bullcrap, the art piece is done. This piece simply wouldn't have turned out the same without using this 3D tool, especially when you compare it to the reference. But some of you may be more pessimistic and might ask, what's the point? Why not become better at perspective on your own so you don't have to go through all this trouble? Well, it never hurts to be better at art while having more tools. Having 3D skills only leads to more abilities when making art, whether that's expanding into animation or using it for other things like comic backgrounds where you don't have to redraw these things thousands of times. And more importantly, it's great to have some amazing pants because I did win that contest with that killer perspective. Links to Blender are in the description below where you can start learning how to work smarter, not harder. As always, thank you for watching, and don't forget to make some more fun.